I'm going to tell you the story of the Mustang. No, not the car, not the horse, the big old fucking rock south of here. And by here, I mean Tucson. The Mustang was a supposed climbing area that a buddy of mine had looked up, found, and had essentially told me about it. He sold me on the idea of, hey, this climbing area is South Tucson, so it looks really cool, you know, all that crazy shit. You know, I just moved down to Tucson. I was a climber. Yeah, I'm a climber. Still climb. You know, I climbed plenty, and I said, yeah, let's go ahead, let's take a Saturday, go to the Mustang. So we take a Saturday and we go down to the Mustang wall. All right, it's myself, my roommate, and a buddy of his. Okay, we finally get to this point where we see the Mustang wall. Okay, it's a pretty big wall. It's a nice wall. It looks pretty. It looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it, etc., etc. So we get there and we park. And what's the first thing that we encounter? Spiders. Not just a spider, thousands of these suckers. Dude, they're everywhere. They're fucking everywhere. You ever see the pictures of like Australia? Like a picture of a park with a picnic table and a big old tree, and they're covered in webs. We decided to park right in front of that. These guys were everywhere. There's one that was actually noticeably larger than the rest. And I cannot describe to I can describe to you what kind. I have no idea what kind of spider he is. He was just a big boy. He was a big beefy boy. He was minding his own business, obviously, and that's kind of the theme of this story, is that everything was minding its own business. We were the intruders. So there's a lot of spiders. We literally parked right next to them, and then we paid no mind to them after that. All right, we just walked out of the car and we're like, all right, there's a lot of spiders here. Cool. This seems like the start of Eight-Legged Freaks here. So now, mind you, this is an actual climbing area. I'm pretty sure I could look it up, and there are climbing routes on the Mustang wall. Like, it exists, so we weren't led to believe that there was nothing there. So we get there, and there's absolutely no established trail. Why did I say that weird? There's no established trail. There is a wash, so we decided to take the wash because the wash happens to go along the base of the mountain. Not a mountain. What is it? It's not a mountain. It's just a big old fucking rock. It's just a massive. I guess it's kind of a mountain. It's not a mountain. I don't know what the fuck it is. Anyways, it's just a big old rock. Okay, we're walking along this wash, and everything's going pretty well. You know, we find a game trail, and we finally just decide, all right, let's get the fuck out of this wash because we still have about another like maybe mile or so to hike. That may not seem long, but here's the problem. We're only on a game trail. We're still bushwhacking the entire fucking way. We're having to deal with nature at its finest. So a mile-long hike in shrubbery is very, very long, very painful, and extremely annoying. Yeah, it was a bitch. And we saw the mountain right there. The Mustang was right in front of us. We were staring at it and we could not get to it. And of course, the closer we got, the bigger it was. This thing was massive. It was insane. It was gorgeous, and we really wanted to climb it. So we were determined. We were absolutely dedicated to get to this fucking piece of shit. So we kept hiking, okay? And for the first like 20 minutes or so, it was totally normal. Totally normal. Nothing bad was happening. We were, you know, just chilling, talking, walking through shrubbery and shit and just disturbing the entire natural ecosystem that existed there for probably decades, probably centuries. And it seemed like we were the first ones to be there. It was insane. Then we got closer to the wall and we started to hear bees. We found a bunch of bees everywhere, which is not a problem to me. Not that I've never been stung before, but I have no idea whether I'm allergic to bee stings or not. I'm pretty sure I'm not. I have no idea because I've never gotten that shit tested or anything. However, one of my friends who came along, who's with us, is deathly allergic to bees, wasps, hornets, whatever. You know what that meant? We literally had to turn back. There were so many of these fucking things. We heard them. It sounded like you were the inside of a fucking dryer, an industrial ass dryer. everywhere. So we had to leave because he didn't bring his EpiPen. I know, whatever, it doesn't matter. We just turn around and start walking back to the car, okay? I told you the spiders. I've told you the bees, wasps, hornets, whatever the fuck they are. Oh, I'm actually, when I tell you this, you're not gonna believe me, and that's the fucked up part. Because it's so bad, you're not gonna believe me. We encountered bears. Plural. Multiple bears. Not just any type of bear. They were cubs. And we didn't see the mother. We had no idea where the mom was. We saw 2 cubs, maybe like 100 feet away from us. Okay? So we had the mountain right on our backs, okay? Now we're heading back. The cars are over here, and there's like this little like cubby, sort of, this dirt mound cubby, okay? Which it looked like there was a cave underneath it. The 2 cubs were tucked away in that cubby. We did not see a mom. Do you know what that means? That means we made a mile-long hike in like 5 minutes. We ran as fast as we fucking could. Are you kidding me? We did not want to stick around and wait to see if there was a mother. They weren't black bears. I think they were brown bears. The winding game trail that we followed, nope, we just ran straight through it. We didn't give a shit anymore. At the end of it, I had torn up jeans and shit. Now, that centipede, however, yes, it is in the title, and he did show up. It was just one. It was just one. And he happened to show up right in front of me. While we were running, while we were trying to traverse through everything, he literally just slithered right in front of me. I almost stepped on the fucker. And yes, he was huge. He was massive. He was bigger than my foot. I don't have a big foot, but he was this fucking big. So we just finally got to the car. We drove away. And yeah, never went there again.